Yo, people, man, Jazz in the building. We got HLOY, we got Endshpilь in the building and that, bro. And is it HLOY or is it Holy? Let me know, because obviously the way you spell his name, the closest spelling to it in the English language is Holy, but I don't know, because I think I've said Holy before. That's how I used to pronounce it, but I don't think anyone's corrected me. But let me know, is it Holy, is it HLOY, or is it something completely different? But we got Endshpilь in the building as well, and apparently I haven't reacted to Holy since January, apparently, which is a mad thing. The last track I reacted to, which was just like a week ago, a few days ago, whatever, with Miyagi, O-Lane, and that, bro. O-Lane went absolutely crazy. Let's see what man like Endshpilь and Holy do on that, man. And if you see me looking over here, I'm reading the translation. It doesn't sound like a fairy tale.
Систем, где тонущий ищет надежду, славится словом и действию, небытие растворяется, как же основа, летят журавли над кварталами, стены подъезда запомнят обрывки из жизни, дни, что удачу пророчили нам, сейчас больше кажется вымыслом. То не парадокс вовсе, лишь об одном попрошу звезды, не достучаться до них, чтобы рядом стояли они, и был не один, но мы наберем ходу, новыми в мире новым, ближе к истоку на ровном, ближе к истоку на ровном. Долгий путь я запомнил наизусть, выпуская дым из уст, наблюдая дни. И пусть вера кружится, я бьюсь, дабы замедлился пульс всем грядущим бурям вопреки.
Bro, this one right here, it sounds like in a lounge and that, man. It sounds like we're in a certain type of bar, bro. There's people out there smoking Cuban cigars and all of that type of stuff, drinking some good liquor, and you got man like Holy just on the stage doing his thing and that, bro, looking like hey, man like Holy, this is how he's dressed and that, with the fedora hat, you get me, in the lounge singing to the people. That's what this one is sounding like and that, bro. It's sounding a bit more jazzy with this one. Still, me can't even lie to you and that, fam. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds very eerie, kind of like like kind of like the black and white, kind of like smoke, how you can't see clearly when you're in a room with a lot of smoke. It's like that's what he sounds like, especially when he first started as well. The way he was flowing, it's like you can't hear everything like precise and crisp, and you know they do that on purpose, because with these guys, with the production, it's insane. If they want you to hear every single word like they're in front of you, they will do that. But it sounds like a little bit muffled or whatever and that, bro. But they've done that on purpose and that, man. But let's reload this, bro, because Broski's actually talking. And this is the first time I feel like, because before I used to listen to these tracks and I didn't read the translation, so I would sometimes be able to kind of like understand what the tune is about, depending on the tone of voice, the cadence, looking at the artwork that they use, because like I said, with these guys, everything connects and that, man. But with this one, reading the lyrics and hearing the tone and that, bro, I feel like it's a little bit different than that, man. But let's go. Because first it sounds like a fairy tale, prince and that, bro, kingdom. And then, yeah, me. And then the vibe completely changes into like a jazz, actual proper instrumentation and that live instrumentation.
Систем, где тонущий ищет надежду, славится словом и действием, небытие растворяется, как же основа.
That's it then, bro. Man said people earn respect not through words but through actions and that, bro. You get me? Chat to them and that, bro. Yeah, you can say certain things. It's easy to say that, but can you actually follow up on what you're actually talking about and that, bro? Man said, I'm not really waiting for change. I grew out of themes where the drowning search for hope and that, fam. You get what I'm trying to say? Chat to them, bro. That's the thing in that, bro. To be honest, that connects right with actions and that, man. Because at the same time, you can hope for certain things, but at the same time, just use your actions and do said things and be the change that you want in the world and that, bro. You get what I'm trying to say?
Систем, где тонущий ищет надежду, славится словом и действию, небытие растворяется, как же основа, летят журавли над кварталами, стены подъезда запомнят обрывки из жизни, дни, что удачу пророчили нам, сейчас больше кажется вымыслом. То не парадокс вовсе, лишь об одном попрошу звезды, не достучаться до них, чтобы рядом стояли они, и был не один, но мы наберем ходу, новыми в мире новым, ближе к истоку на ровном, ближе к истоку на ровном.
Orlando, bro, because it said cranes fly over the neighborhoods and that, man. And then he said the walls of the apartment blocks will remember fragments of lives, and the look they once promised us now feels like more fiction. I feel like that just is kind of talking about gentrification. You know, when it comes to these poor neighborhoods, you have these rich people and that, bro, that buy all of these different apartment blocks and they restructure them and promise more affordable housing and all of that type of stuff. And that's never the case in that, man. So all of these promises that people give you, and they're tearing down the very thing that you've known all your life and that, and they say, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and they end up not doing it and that, and you get what I'm trying to say. And then also he also said, I asked the stars for only one thing to reach them and that, bro. That's so cool. That's what I'm saying. Like when these guys say certain things, like a rapper isn't like, think of any rapper in the world and that, bro. They're not saying what they're saying like that right there. I told you, these guys are poets and that, man. These guys are poets. And even talking about the smoke at the start and kind of giving you a visual representation of what it sounds like audibly and what this track sounds like audibly. He literally said, exhaling smoke from my mouth, watching the days pass on that room. And then he said, I memorized this long road by heart and that, man. Just like the road of life, whatever you've been through in that, fam. Come on now, man. It's stored. Although for me, bro, not gonna lie, like the first 5 years, I say like the first 5 to 8 years of my life and that, bro, I just remember very little things. I always say my memory is very poor in that, bro. But in terms of the start of my life and that, when I was really young, I don't really remember much, just little bits here and there, you know what I mean? Man said I keep fighting just to slow my pulse against all the storms to come and that, bro. Crazy to me and that, bro. Because obviously when you're fighting, like that's a juxtaposition in it. Because normally when you're fighting, your heart's accelerating, adrenaline is rushing and that, bro. But this is a different type of fighting. He's not just fighting to fight. It's kind of like fighting to survive. It's kind of like fighting because you have to end up from just to kind of slow things down, occupy yourself, occupy the mind and that, bro. In terms of to kind of distract yourself from everything else that's going on and that, and prepare yourself for a bigger battle type of thing. You get me? He's not doing it mindlessly.
Строятся стены, бой со мной, пока стелится время под ногами, бой со мной. Мы, взявшись за руки, перевернем неравный бой. Ты лишь бой со мной. Грядущим бурям вопреки. Бой со мной, пока строятся стены, бой со мной, пока стелится время под ногами, бой со мной. Мы, взявшись за руки, перевернем неравный бой. Ты лишь бой со мной, ты лишь бой. Бой со мной, пока строятся стены, бой со мной, пока стелится время под ногами, бой со мной. Мы, взявшись за руки, перевернем неравный бой. Ты лишь бой со мной, ты лишь бой. Высота не страшна, с ней на ты мы. Следом выпью до дна, все с родными.
I like that right there. There's another song that I was listening to and someone said something similar to that. Oh yeah, it was Lupe Fiasco and that, bro. And there was a line in there where he was kind of like talking about Africa, West Africa, slavery and all of that type of stuff. And he basically said in the song, if you survive blackness, then basically you can conquer anything else in your life. Because if you think of like the social hierarchy, black people are all the way at the bottom. So if you survive the bottom, then anything else is easy in that, bro. And that's basically what Endshpil is also saying here as well. Heights don't scare us anymore. We're familiar with them and that, bro. So in terms of the challenges that we've been through in life or just actual heights in general and that, fam, we've been through so much that nothing scares us anymore and that, man. Anything we face in that, bro, we face it head on with a brave heart, man. Chat to them, bro. Because I told you guys, rap was literally made from the bottom and that, fam. You get what I'm trying to say? So even though these guys, millionaires, all of this type of fame and that, fam, they came from the bottom. But if they conquered that, fam, anything else is conquerable.
Следом выпью до дна, все с родными. Внизу шумит забот мирских река, а мы парим.
Because now he's on top, he's gonna drink for the people at the bottom and that. So even though he's at the top now, so first he's talking about conquering the bottom, and now that he's at the top basically and that, bro, he's still gonna celebrate the people beneath him and that, fam. You know what I'm saying? Because he still wants to give a helping hand and that, bro, and still cares about them, even though he's in a different place to them now. Chat to them. And his voice is much more, Andy Panda's voice is much lighter, basically. You know these guys, they like to have deep voices, deep tones or whatever. But like I said at the start, how this sounds like a fairy tale type of song in terms of how it started. Man, like Andy Panda's voice or Endshpil's voice is very light, this tune and that, bro.
Следом выпью до дна, все с родными. Внизу шумит забот мирских река, а мы парим, плюс вайп, минус суета. Пинаю будни, словно мяч под ногами. Мы отворяем в небо дверь, давай с нами. Слышу сердцем, пою душой, тут много.
There we go. That's a more regular tone that we're used to. That tone I'm used to.
Будни, словно мяч под ногами. Мы отворяем в небо дверь, давай с нами. Слышу сердцем, пою душой, тут много мест, поэтому давай со мной пой. Пока я зачитаю. Не вороши кинопленку, не перематывай прошлое. Этот старый винил никому не упал, если музыка пошлая. По душам, по избитым словам и на ощупь по звуку. Я найду ваши светлые головы сию минуту в мои глаза.
Man said this all vinyl means nothing to anyone if the music is shallow and that, bro. Chat to them, because I always say like that crackling sound that you get from vinyls, bro, is so pure, it's so precious, and that from like is one of like the most nostalgic sounds within music, one of the purest sounds within music and that, fam. But even though the fact that that said thing is pure, if the music on it, what's actually in the vinyl, what's on the vinyl is just shallow and that, bro, then it basically has no meaning. Chat to them. But now we're getting three different sounds, because like I said, before anyone started rapping, it sounded like a fairy tale. Then I told you it sounded like we're in a lounge. You got a little bit more eerie, a little bit more dark, and now the vibes change again completely. I just realized the image, this image right here in that, fam, is literally getting bigger, bro. Like this image on the screen is literally getting bigger.
Не перематывай прошлое. Этот старый винил никому не упал, если музыка пошлая. По душам, по избитым словам и на ощупь по звуку. Я найду ваши светлые головы сию минуту. В мои глаза пробивается дым, плохие привычки, все в этом духе. В городе.
And now he's speaking about smoke.
Сию минуту в мои глаза пробивается дым, плохие привычки, все в этом духе. В городе много легенд, но никто никогда не услышит о них ближе к сути. Все загонялись, и это неправильно, но и на то были свои причины. Сложные люди, тяжелые жизни и их нарративы. Музыка может.
Online, because then he also says there are many legends in this city, but nobody will ever hear about them and that, fam. And I always say, like, when you look at the bottom, there's always going to be more of said something than at the top. So at the top, yeah, we have the legends. You have your Bob Marleys, your Jay-Z's, and all of these type of guys that are at the top, that are legends, the GOATs, the greatest of all time. But at the bottom, there's pretty much people also that are just as good as them and that, bro. But all it is that they don't have the eyes on them and that, man. And also, if you think of the Jay-Z's, the Bob Marleys, all of these type of guys, where did they come from? The bottom and that, from. You get what I'm trying to say? So I like how they're talking about the bottom of the top, and even though that they're at the top, they're not gonna forget the people that are at the bottom and that, bro. Like everything connects and that, bro. Literally and that. You get what I'm trying to say? It's like a funnel.
Причины, сложные люди, тяжелые жизни и их нарративы. Музыка может помочь. Пой эту тему со мной, пой ее с нами. Все обжигались, никто не святой. Ряды редеют, теперь мы и стали. Знаешь, как было, и видишь, теперь мы сорвали овации родного города. В этих местах закаляется стиль. Шмаляем без повода. Тут пишется истина, принимаю ее даром, слово за слово. Тут пишется истина, в глубинах правды, в поисках чистого. Пишется истина, принимаю ее даром, слово за слово. Тут пишется истина, в глубинах правды, в поисках чистого.
That's it, man. Yeah, man. Shout out HLOY or Holy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Shout out Endshpil and that, bro. I like how they did that as well, because it's pretty much HLOY or Holy for the first part, and then Endshpil took over for the second part as well. And we got a different side to him as well and that, man. We got a more kind of like fresher sounding style, and then we also got his just default mode or whatever and that, man. You know what I mean? Where his sounds a bit more dark, a bit more eerie, but yeah. And even if you notice as well, because like I said, even the track at the start, how it sounded like a fairy tale. Because if you look at the imagery, you got the light side, and there was parts of the songs where it sounded light, and then you got the dark side where certain parts of it also sound dark as well, and then also the juxtaposition of bottom to top. You know what I mean? Some people will look at the bottom as darkness, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of talent there, there's a lot of purity, there's a lot of fun, there's a lot of laughter there, but people see it as the bottom. I mean, people see it as the darkness or whatever, and then when you think of the top, the rise and that, fam, even though there's a lot of evil there, there's a lot of, you get me, backstabbing, all of that type of stuff, and a lot of evil stuff that goes on, people see that as like the light and that, from the good side type of thing. So yeah, a lot of opposites in this one, man, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it though. It's your boy Njies, and I'm out of it. And a bit people, man, I'm